Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by my co-host today, Chanelle, Coleman, Wesley, and Stacey Thomas. Have a great show coming up. We want to welcome those tuning in on the simulcast on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We're going to go ahead and bring in our friends over on Instagram as well, so they can be a part of our chat. And last but certainly not least, going to bring in our friends over on Amazon so they can be a part of our show today as well. Have a great segment that's coming up for you guys today. And it's someone who I had a chance to interview 9 years ago on the radio show, just making your first visit with us here on Amazon Live. I'm talking about the one and only V. Bozeman. She's a Grammy nominated recording artist, actress, and model. We're going to talk to her about all the great things she's been up to, but also what it's been like for her to share that all with you. A lot of us, of course, love Soul of a Sister. You guys got a chance to see. We're going to talk to her about that as well. But ladies, hello to you, and V, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for
Hello.
having
Thanks so much for
me.
having us.
Well, V, I'm going to get things kicked off. As I mentioned, it's hard to believe it was 9 years ago I had a chance to interview you. What has this journey been like for you to think about when it comes to the past decade and all you've been able to do and always the dreams you've been able to see realized?
Man, while it's actually been a blessing. It's been a roller coaster ride, if I can say the least. From acting to singing and juggling the two, it's been very interesting. It's two different spaces. So adjusting to that and just riding the waves as the industry has changed and the world has changed in so many different ways over the course of time. So I'm just riding the waves, as
Yeah.
as we all say.
And doing it in a great way. I have more I want to talk to you about, V, but before I do that, before she kicks me out, I'm going to turn it over to Chanelle. Chanelle's a couple of questions for you. Chanelle, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks so much, Cyrus. I'm so excited to be talking to V. Bosman. I'm just a huge admirer of so much of your work. I just want to say congratulations to you and all that I see that you are accomplishing is just truly inspiring to watch. So I wanted to ask you, in a world where it's just full of filters nowadays, what's been something that's really kept you grounded to be able to show up unapologetically in your truth? Where you and give us a moment in your career where you said, you know what, this is me, and I'm not going to shrink for anybody else or anything else.
Mm. I probably did that early on in my career. Um, because hey, my dog, sorry.
You
Um,
fine.
I did it early on in my career because, I came in professionally in the game, with a bald head. And a lot of
Yes.
people weren't, really embracing that or rocking that at the time. I was one of few, and when I did that, I really had to embrace everything that had to do with the essence of who I was.
Yes.
And I was in the industry for a long time before that. I was in a girl group and having, trying to get on for years and years and years, and within that finding myself,
Mm.
and when the girl group finally disbanded, I just wanted to shed off all of the energy that
Mm.
was on me previously. I had went through a lot of storms, and when I, was ready to reemerge, I just wanted to be completely unapologetically me.
Yes.
And I shaved my head, not knowing that that would be my look, my brand at the time, but I just wanted to start over
Mm.
personally. And I don't know, once I did that, I feel like everything opened up. Once I
Mm.
embraced me 100%, the world embraced me 100%. And I
Mm.
tell artists all the time, always be yourself. No
Yes.
matter what's happening, in the atmosphere, no matter what's happening in this industry, you always have to be true to you, because people see that. People aren't as, simple as you may think.
Right.
You know, people can see through you. So that's how I would explain that.
I definitely feel and resonate with that. And I feel like representation matters. And I think just providing a strong image, just not for our little girls, but just for our Black women to be able to understand, to accept and embrace who they are. I think it's just truly powerful. So, I mean, if we were to think of you, there are so many different adjectives that we could use: powerful, dynamic, sensational. But what's
Thank
it
you.
like for you when the cameras and the lights go off and it's just you and your mirror? Who is V Bosman?
V Bozeman is a strong believer in my creator, the Holy Spirit, my Heavenly Father. That is who I look to for any and everything. That's what keeps me grounded. That's where I know I get my gift from.
Yes.
That's I'm very clear on why I'm here, you know, and I'm just here to touch the hearts and the souls of the people, and hopefully, I can continue to do that. Not hopefully, but I will continue to do that. And I'm very clear. I've always been a person that is very inward when it comes to um, my spirituality. And I've always known my purpose, and I'm very, very matter of fact and serious about it. So yeah, I'm just very clear on on why I'm here.
I love that. I'm thankful that you accepted the assignment and that you're doing it in such a powerful way. V. Bosman, again, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to pass it over to my amazing co-host, Stacey. And so thanks again for your time.
Thank you, sis.
Hey V.
Hey.
You are such a beautiful young lady. Look, when I started following you, right? I guess I got confused because I saw the picture. I remember you when you had no hair, right? And then I see the pictures with the hair, and I'm like, oh, she's just living life. Congratulations on everything you're doing, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You look so young. I don't want to know how old you are, but you've taken on a role. When I was researching you, I learned that you've taken on a role as a keynote speaker. Some even refer to you as an expert. So when you're out here talking to other musicians or other artists or actors, what exactly made you feel like it's your responsibility to speak out?
Because number one, I'm a human being before anything. I'm a child of God, and you know, and integrity and the moral code is very important to me also. So, when you touch the hearts and souls of the people, it's in a lot of different ways, not only, through song and on stage. So when I talk to people, I just try to stay as authentic as I can, like I'm just having a conversation with another human being, another person. So, morality is very important to me, especially during these times, and not compromising that. That's that's really number one. I've been taught just because you're in the world doesn't mean you have to be of the world. Just because I'm in the industry doesn't mean I have to be of the industry. I morality is number one, because at the end of the day, we all have to look in the mirror and make sure we still recognize self. So that's why.
Wow. When I look at you and I think about how old I am, I see we're going to have some great leaders.
I hope so, sis, because we definitely need them.
Wow. And you keep doing what you're doing, sweetheart. My other question is, because you seem so confident, well, actually, you are very confident. When did you first realize what your passion was? And was there ever a time where doubt or fear started to creep in?
Great question. I never knew that I didn't have this gift. When I knew and was aware of a mirror and I would look in the mirror, I was like, I'm a singer. I have a gift. I knew it
Wow.
from, I can't remember when I didn't. But I would say when I was questioning certain things, I would say it was about 5 years ago. You know, I just kind of, the passion wasn't as strong as it was before. I had gone through some things industry wise, and I just was wondering, like, man, I feel like I'm just being attacked and all the time when it comes to me singing, when it comes to me opening up my mouth. But, the Lord told me it's because you have a gift. It's because I've assigned you to do certain things, and the enemy is always going to be lurking somewhere, blah blah blah. So over time, the enemy, he's definitely predictable. He has the same tricks, same antics. So I've learned how to navigate through that and just submit to letting God lead me, because he ain't never gonna lead me nowhere that I shouldn't be. So yeah, I've had a lot of human moments to where I'm like, man, but I'm reminded very quickly, like, mm-mm, you
Wow.
stronger than that.
That's right. And I'm a firm believer. The
Yeah,
more you grow, the more storms come. But when you sit back and you think about the fact that God got you and you know the blessings are coming,
yeah.
we got to smile. It's been great, sweetheart. And I am
So
wishing you
good.
the very best. I'm going to pass it to the main person, Cyrus
Okay.
Webb.
I appreciate you. You guys make it difficult for me. Thanks a lot for that. Stacey, I want to reset real quick, V, for our audience that are just tuning in. I see you guys over there on Amazon, also on YouTube, as well as on Instagram. You all are watching Cyrus Webb and Friends, one of our programs here on Amazon Live. You all can see all the music there in the carousel of our guest we're talking to today. A Grammy-nominated recording artist. She's an actress, model. V. Bozeman is joining us today. My co-host has been having a great conversation with V, talking with her about the journey. And V, I really appreciate this time. Just have a couple questions for you myself, because I want to talk about Soul of a Sister for a moment, because I think what has
Okay.
been so great for me to watch you on your journey. I got to know you first from music, but
Yeah.
you've been able to show us your talent as an actress from all these different roles, like Soul of a Sister and Snatch. What was it about that particular role, though, for Soul of a Sister that really resonated with you?
Wow. Soul of a Sister resonated with me because a lot of my story is very similar.
Hmm.
Um Aside from having a child
Hmm.
and the drugs, I ran into a lot of hurdles early on in my career that could have derailed my whole life.
Hmm.
And, you know, I compare Snatch to Soul of a Sister when I talk about it, because Snatch was very physical.
Yeah.
I had to really get my body ready for that role.
Hmm.
3 days learning jujitsu, learning how to handle knives and gunplay and all types of
Hmm.
stuff. Very intense.
Yeah.
But the acting was fairly, it was cool. The physical part is what was the challenge. But Soul of a Sister, it was emotionally challenging. It was draining because I really tapped into my past, and I had to, you know, remember the feeling emotionally, spiritually, and physically when I prepared for that role. And I prepared for about 2-3 months for in that role,
Wow.
and it just brought back a lot of dark things,
Hmm.
and I didn't realize just how delicate I was in that,
Hmm.
because when we rapped, I just didn't have anything to give. I
Yeah.
was very quiet. I stayed in my house for a few weeks because I just had to get back to self in real time. You know what I'm saying? Soul
Right.
of a Sister, it you know taps into a lot of different things emotionally when it comes to women and sexual assault, and
Hmm.
abuse, and trying to get back to self and losing the essence of who you are um, when you're attacked by somebody that is a dark force. So
Yeah.
it was a lot.
Hmm.
But that's why I talk about, I hope a lot of artists and young women watch it and see how determined and willing Nina was to get back into her gift and her truth,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
V, you bring up a really good point, and that is, unfortunately, even though it was a role, that is
Mm,
the reality for so many. And the
hmm.
fact that, shout out to BET for being able to put something like that out, to
Yeah.
tell that story that needed to be to have that conversation. I've seen you being a part of that conversation. It kind of ties into what Chanelle and you were talking about, right? About using your platform that way. Could you have imagined, though, V, when you started this journey, though, that you would not only be admired for your talent, but also just for being who you are?
You know, not really, because I just am who I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think about it in that way, you know. I just want to do right, to be
Mhm.
honest. This industry is very hard.
Yeah,
It's a lot of forces, it's a lot of energies that you have to, you know, make sure you're covered and coming into this and really not knowing the ways of the world as a young person. You have to learn, you have to observe, you have to slow down sometimes, and understand that some, obstacles, or if you don't get this, role, or if you don't get this label offer, it's okay,
yeah,
because that means something else is gonna be for you when the time comes. Be anxious for nothing. Don't be
mm,
anxious all the time and in a rush to, you know, be steady and be steadfast and be discerning. I can't say that enough. And I do want to shout out Rage for Soul of a Sister. He's the director, Dale.
okay,
Um, he spent about 5 years fighting for me to play that role as the lead in
wow,
that role. And I would tell him, I'm like, yo, the executives, maybe they just not feeling me to do it. And he was like, no, blah blah blah. He was just so persistent in me doing
mm,
this role, and I just can't do an interview and talk about Soul of a Sister without saying thank you to him for believing in me all of these years,
yeah,
and being patient with that whole process.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
V, since you brought that up, I do want to ask you this because I heard you mention that, and and give him his props in another interview. What is it like for you to know that someone sees you like that? Because I think a lot of times, and all of us, no matter what industry we're in, right, we all want to be someone to really see us. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not to see our talent, but really see us. What is it like for you to know that there are people out there in the world that actually get to see V for who she is?
I mean, it's everything, because those are the people that um I feel that God brings to you for the blessings. It's okay if people don't understand or connect with me, or not feeling me, or it's absolutely okay,
Yeah,
because it's a plan that's already set out for you. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
you're gonna get way more no's than yeses in this game, and that's
Mm,
just what it is. And you have to be able to develop some tough skin and keep it moving. When you do an interview, when you do a show, leave it there. Keep moving.
yeah,
Just keep moving.
love it. Well,
Yeah.
you have definitely done that since you and I first connected in 2016. You've definitely kept it moving, and it's been such a great experience for myself as a fan to have watched your growth. Again, everyone, V. Bozeman has been our guest. I want to thank my co-hosts, Chanelle, Coleman, Wesley, and Stacey Thomas for being with us today. V, let our audience know how can they stay connected with you and kind of keep up with the upcoming projects.
Well, you can stay connected with me on Instagram, of course, under V Bozeman, Twitter, V Bozeman Music, YouTube, V Bozeman. And, I'm coming out with the new album this quarter, fourth quarter, and be looking out for that. I can't tell you the name just yet, but it's going to be
Okay.
very special. And I'm finally, ready to get back in my music bag, since I've been, on the screen. So it's
Right.
going to be a lot of stuff coming. So just stay tuned. It's going to be a real good ride.
Love it. Well, we're all here for it, V. Congratulations again, and
Thank
thank you
you.
again for stopping by. Looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you for having me. You
Of
guys have
course.
a good day.
You
Thanks to
too.
you as well. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. Until next time, you will make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.